let's talk to you about this BRR. So then we've got refurbish, right? So refurbish your property. Again, you're not just going in, painting a couple of walls, you've got a strategy in mind. This particular example today is a 1 to 2 bedroom. So what I'm doing is adding a bedroom to create value. But you've already got that in mind, right? When you're doing your refurbish, you know, you're HMOing the property, you're adding a bedroom, you're adding extensions, you're splitting a house into flats, whatever it is, you've got that in mind. So day one, you go in, you do your refurbish. That's the second part of a BRRR. You should already know the cost of the refurbish. You should know the timelines, and you should have a rough idea of what your property, the gross development value, is going to be at the end of doing your refurbishment. That's why you get your buy, you do your refurbish, that's where most of your costs are baked in, and that ultimately should be a lot less than your GDV, your gross development value, or value after your refurbishment, and you should be able to pull some money out. Watch this example and I'll show you how I did it. Then you've got rent out and refinance. These two things for me are interchangeable. Some people do rent out first, some people do refinance first. I think it depends on the type of project, but in this particular instance, I'm just going to talk you through rent out. So that's pretty simple. You get tenants in, you can do that through our AST, or you can do what we do and supercharge the rent through things like partnering with social housing. Again, in the example to come, you're going to see how I did that and the difference it makes to the return I get. And then finally, the last R is refinance. So if we go back to the refurbishment and the buy, well, you should already have a good idea of what your GDV is, what the property is going to be worth at the end of doing your work. Ultimately, a surveyor is the one that's going to decide, right, what the value of the property is. But your GDV, if you've done it right, should be within about 10% tolerance up or down of your target. And you should probably be doing your maths on the lower end of that. Remember, you're only going to be getting 75% of whatever your GDV is. So that's the cash that you're left with. That's what needs to pay for most or all of the work that you have done and the cost of the property. If you're going down the social housing route, well, you're going to get a 65% loan to value. So it's going to be slightly lower, but the dynamics work the same. The point here is that the 65 or 75% cash you're left with should pay for your property, your refurbishment, all of your costs, your stamp duty, your legals, or near as possible. And then you've got the final R. Some people put it in, some people leave it out, but because you got some cash, you repeat, and then you just go BRR, 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 and hopefully that builds up a nice sizable property portfolio.